It's been a mighty long day. I finally got home. I'm chilling in my bedroom, and yes, took a little bit, but I got my chicken and mashed potatoes and flatbread. I just wanted to come in for a little bit and wish you all a good evening. And I also would like to bring you onto my email. I've got 188 emails. Y'all pardon me while I eat just for a little bit. I'm going to try to be as quick as possible tonight. I want to do some shout outs. I want to do some shout outs through my email. I've gone through them all. I started out with about probably about 358 emails. And that's quite a bit. Now, it's probably about 1 o'clock in the morning wherever you are. So I don't expect anyone to come in, but that's okay. That's okay. I just know that I'm going to be up for another 4 more hours. Hi, Ursula Living. I'm surprised you're here. It's so late. I'm just chilling. It's been a mighty long day. I've got the chicken, but I've got blue cheese dressing, and then I've got sweet and sour dressing right there. And I've got a cat over here that's very interested. We got to keep her away. Sit back and stop. So I just felt like coming in. Don't ask me why. I've been making hi, Living for Jesus. Oh my goodness, I'm shocked you're here. It's so late. Yeah, I got done at finally got done at Mr. Tim's about it was almost 7 o'clock at night. No, sorry, my cat's over here. To tell her no. I don't know. I just felt like coming in. And how did all this start with me visiting Mr. Tim? He rarely will call. He will always text. And so he had some it's kind of weird. He had some bottles for me the day before. You know how I turn in my cans and bottles for 10 cents, and it can add up to quite a bit, as you saw the other day. Well, you probably didn't see. No, you didn't, because I had to delete that video. I had to delete the video because I had copyrighted music. Basically, I came in to encourage. I came to encourage through gospel music, some gospel music. And so I knew that I would only be on for a little bit, for about 30 minutes or so. And I sensed that somebody needed encouraging. I did not cut his hair. I didn't have time. I didn't have time, but that hair is going to get cut. Every year he does that. Him and his father, and a bunch of the men that are out there. That hair being that long to me is a sign that we are a bit depressed, in my humble opinion. So I finally said, look, I want to have a bit of a conversation with you about something. I go, why did you give me this big bag of bottles? He said, because I wanted you to come and visit me. I'm like, we don't have to give me a big bag of bottles for me to visit you. I go, why did you want me to visit you? He says, because I wanted to see you. When I got out there and I had a look at all the different projects he's trying to complete, pardon me, I'm trying to get my words correct out of my head and out from my brain and out of my mouth. but I want it to make sense. I think he needs some help with some of the things that he is doing, and I think he's a bit overwhelmed. Not that he can't handle his business. He can handle his business and handle it quite well. When I was living on the property, I also helped. Yeah, he does. He does. I love him, but I can't live with him. So, how am I supposed to work a relationship if I can't live with you? That's kind of impossible. So, because I love and care about him, no, you're not being nosy at all. I'm very transparent. You're not being nosy. I'm going to go over there on Saturday. And I told him, you figure out what you want to work on. I said, I'm going to tell you my opinion, but you're going to do what you want. You need to focus on one of these projects and take it all the way to completion. Whether it's the side bottom, the skirting of the house, or the porch, whatever other project you may have. You focus on the big thing. I go, and I will try to come out here and there for 4 hours or so. And then I'm going to be working on some other things, and I'm going to help you as best as I can. But you need to point out what you want. Make sure it's something I can do. Because there's no sense in me coming out to help you. I'm doing a project the way I want to, and it's not the way you want it done. And all I'm doing is setting you back that much further. I go, but I want to come out here and help you. And in helping with the raking of different flower beds for his mother, I'm helping his mother. She's 80 years old. She, I don't want to see her out there trying to bend over and do all that. I don't. And I felt the Lord was kind of pricking at my heart that not to be afraid that Tim would demand to be in a relationship, but do this to the least of these, and you've also done this unto me. And I said I would come out and help him out, and I'm going to. It's not that much work, really, and I need to get off my blessed assurance and get outside and do some things. Everything's done here, and I only have 2 days worth of work, which I can handle. Not a problem. Pardon me while I'm eating. This is the first meal I've had today at 10:02 p.m. That building has been, since I met him, it's been looking like that. It's time to light a fire under his feet to really help him. So maybe by the fall, we can have the skeleton for this building up. It's going to be huge. And then the shade tree mechanical work and other kind of mechanical work that he does, he can have a building in the dead of winter to go into. He has that one tarpy looking building, the plastic building, which is fine. But there's a lot of separate different things that have to be done. And he's only one man, I don't know. I had a very, very long talk with him after I was done with the video. So we'll see what happens. I told him, I says, well, I feel a sense that I should be doing something, not about what he's doing. I said, but I'm just going to work every day and coming home and taking care of what I need to, and I feel like there's something I'm supposed to be doing. But for the life of me, I can't figure out what. I've been praying about it. So I think the first step toward that is for me to go out there and help him to accomplish some of the things that he needs to do. It was so weird looking at that camper. I can't believe I lived in that thing. I lived in that thing for in the coldest of weather. I'm sorry that I'm a little bit lost for words. But I do feel that I want to help him. It was kind of funny. He says, well, if you come back out, because I had come back. Let me bring the chat up so I can see you, because your chat will come in and out. There you are. Okay. You might make the difference in Mr. Tim's life so he can face his personal demons. My husband is the quiet type. Yes. Yes. And his father can be a problem because his father is 81 years old. His father likes things done a certain set way. So in a sense, he's got his thumb in Tim's neck, in that as he's doing a project, he's a negative kind of person. He's just negatively commenting. I want to take a piece of duct tape and put it on his lips. I do. Like, would you just be quiet? I love you, Daddy, but you know, his father, it can be a challenge. It can be a challenge. See, I don't tolerate anything from him if he's going to be mean. Isn't that something, living for Jesus? Exactly. Sharp as a tack and very intelligent. I mean, literally a genius, like testing on a genius level. Pardon me as I eat and talk. I'll try not to do this. I'll try not to do both at the same time. Believe it or not, this is a fresh batch. I've been going flatbread crazy. If you look close and you see those little dots, I added garlic salt, or garlic salt, garlic powder, onion powder, and then a bunch of parsley flakes and stuff like that to it. It tastes really good. You can actually really flavor this to taste really, really, to be really flavorful. I had to learn that I could not solve everybody's problems. You see, I can't make everything go away. I can't make your father respect you any further. You know, I can't tell your father to be quiet. Go onto his property and tell him to be quiet. Hi, Yacky Snacky. Thank you, Yacky Snacky. Believe it or not, after 10 p.m., this is my first meal. But what I can do is I can ease some of the pressure off of Tim's shoulders by going into the 3. Yes, he does. It's kind of one of these deals you make. I'll come live there in exchange for my room. I will mow the yard. I will do all the outside hard work. You see him working on the skirting. He was showing his father the other day when I was there. No, Tim is not the oldest. I think he's the middle, in the middle. So he had all the pieces of wood pre-cut, measured and cut, and he's going to put them together like a puzzle and make that wood skirt and paint that wood skirt. As you saw, the wood skirt at the bottom of their house. And his father just looked at it. Everything was perfectly measured. He goes, that won't work. And I'm just like looking at him. I'm quiet. I want to see what else he's going to say. And he goes, well, for one, there's a knot, like a knot, a natural knot in the wood. There's a knot in that one piece. He goes, no, Dad, it'll work. Everything will Everything will fit together. I can't imagine having all this noise from someone. As I'm helping you, part of it is I'm 81 years old. I can't get around the way I used to. And so with a man, pride stands up. He has to prove himself, and what he does is never enough. Exactly. You hit the nail on the head, living for Jesus. Exactly. And I'm thinking, Tim, you're going to be 56. Your father's 81 years old. It's not that you're going to disrespect him, but you can respectfully stand up to him. For Tim, he would rather be quiet, wait for his father to walk away, and then go ahead and do it his way, than to have a confrontation. It's a very weird thing. It's almost like he's afraid of him. And I think for his father's frustration is, I'm old, I'm older now, and I physically can't do what I used to be able to do, and it frustrates me because I like things in a certain order, and now I got this boy, from his perspective, even though he's a grown older man, I've got this boy over here doing stuff, and by golly, he's not doing it the way I like it to be done, and I'm frustrated, so I'm just going to go ahead and lash out, that kind of thing. I don't want to get in the middle of all that. I want to go over there and do to the least of these. If I've done it to the least of these, I've done it to the father, right? And I'm thinking more about mom and how she's 80 years old and she's kind of, you know, walking kind of slow. She's got this little, you know, the little cart thing. It's a little square plastic thing on wheels. It's plastic. You can open it up. It's got stuff in it, but you can sit on it and be in your garden kind of sitting on it and kind of scoot around on wheels. She's got one of those. And I told Timmy that I don't mind the thought of her sitting there like that, but I don't want her with a rake in her hand trying to rake up dead leaves and sticks and things like that. I go, why don't you let me go to each of her gardening areas? I go, I will clean everything out, and then we'll bring the cart over. Mr. Tim inside is still that little boy that needs approval from his dad, and now he feels like a failure, and that's why he drinks, because he's drinking to hide the pain. Hello. Hello. Living for Jesus, I don't know why you aren't doing some videos. You know? There's a lot of wisdom in your young self. Come on now. Grandma can learn a few things from you. Yes, I can. Nah, I can humble myself right quick in your sight. If you're offering me some sincere wisdom, and you are, I'm going to watch this. I'm going to be quiet and listen to it. You hit the nail on the head. Isn't it amazing how you can still be that little boy or little girl? No, don't. Hey, don't be insulting my friend living for Jesus. Living for Jesus? No, that's not what you are. It's not our frame. Look at me. I'm sitting here, Miss Saggy over here. And I love when I was outside how I could see every single wrinkle. I had a few thoughts about myself. We're in the shells that we're in, and we're doing the best we can with these shells. That's this. Yeah, you know this. I'm preaching to the choir with you, living for Jesus. Shell. Just a plastic shell, if you will. It's amazing how the world will try to make you feel a certain set way, because they're looking at something fake on TV, fake on YouTube, something fake in a movie. They don't realize that behind the camera, where they can't see, is somebody putting a wig on that person's head, or somebody putting makeup on that person, somebody selecting the clothes that they're going to wear, somebody making them look a certain set way. You know? Oh, that's all right, living for Jesus. When and if you want to, when and if you want to. If you want to. That's your choice. You want to work on your shell, you go ahead. If you can't work on your shell right now, just keep it. I just keep it going. I would love the thought of a personal trainer knocking at my door and dragging me out of bed and helping me train, but that's not happening. My personal trainer is this arm. I'm just throwing my potatoes. I'm just, I'm just trying to fit into my clothes comfortably. I'm starting to fit into most of my clothes comfortably. I am Jane Doe. I am everyday ordinary. I think 99% of us are. But the visuals that we're given, the way that people are saying we're supposed to look, some of it's kind of scary, some of the ways they think we're supposed to look. If I see another video with a woman, my eyebrows are right here. These are my eyebrows. I had to take the pencil and I darken it a little bit, and from here back I have no brows. They're growing back in. But that is the natural line you can see real close of my eyebrow, right? There's my eye. There's my brow. If I see one more video with a woman with her brow up here, I'm going to lose my mind. And then with this big 1/4 of an inch square right here, and it's like that wide, it's going like this all the way over here, all the way like Batwoman. If I see one more, I'm going to lose my mind. Because Kim Kardashian, cardboard thing, if I can touch it, there you go. If I see one more, some people are all put together by a bunch of people. We would look absolutely stunning too. Is if when a new season come around, somebody hold on a second. If somebody knocked at our door and they rolled in one of those rolling things with clothing on it, and they rolled that little thingy in, and there's all these outfits, my size and everything. And then you got I can't believe it's a girdle and everything. And before I step out in front of the camera or step out in the street, I sit down and someone does my hair and puts my eyebrows together and puts me all together. Gives me the right bra, gives me the right girdle, you know what I mean? And just, nothing is as it seems is the point I'm trying to make. Nothing is as it seems. And it seems like not everybody, but there's a lot of people that are cookie cutter versions of the next person, where everybody's kind of looking the same. Pardon me from going to subject. It is all fake. You've seen all these movies. All of a sudden, it's the morning time, and this woman is stretching her arms like this. She's turning her head with every hair in place, and she turns, and the camera gets in her face. She has makeup on. She got her lashes together. Who in the world wakes up like that? Do you wake up with lashes, a full thing of lipstick, a full over makeup and powder on your face and neck? She glides out of bed with her flat, let me stop. Let me be careful. That's not reality. I wake up with a little bit of hair I have in every which way direction, with my saggy self and my bad breath, and stagger my way to the bathroom to go potty and brush my teeth, or the few real and the bunch of fake teeth that I got, and I just, sorry, maybe I'm being a bit too real. Oh, excuse me, piece of gristle, excuse me. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Here's something kind of cute. So today was the day that I was supposed to go to Tim's and pick him up. I folded my back seat forward, and you got that right, Miss Martha. Preach, sister. Yeah, I'm looking at what. Right now, I got them in my mouth, and they're cemented in there. But just like my mother and lots of younger women, let's be real, there's a lot of younger people that have dentures for whatever reason they do, childbirth and all that. And that's nothing to be embarrassed about. But yeah, we wake up and we just stagger out of bed, and I think about 99%, okay, 90%, let's give it 90%. Wake up the way I just described. We ease out of bed, we put our, yes, I'm so happy for you living for Jesus. I got the glasses. That's the next goal. I'm gonna have him deal with the bottom teeth first. I forgot what I was gonna say. So yeah, about the bottles. So he says, hey, if you want to come over, I've got this big bag of bottles. I'm like, okay, I'll come over and get the bottles. What I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get everything together. He says, basically, he had one for him. Yeah, heck, I was embarrassed because my hair was so short. I got hair looking like this is kind of like a boy haircut, which I don't mind. I don't think I look horrid, but I just think the hair is too short I have a very long face, and I've got thick lips, and I got a pretty sizable nose. And I think when my hair is all cut away, my nose and lips are going, hi, And I have a long neck. So, I need to have my hair be a little longer and come down my neck a little bit, in my opinion. I'm the first to laugh at myself. I take it too serious. But yeah, it's like, hi, everybody. I'm Miss Lynn's lips. Hello, here's her nose, But Mr. Tim, hey, if you want to come and get another bag, I've got this ginormous bag, and he's got like a 40-gallon bag, a big old bag of bottles, And it added up to like $30. I went and returned them. It's like $30 or something. So he has this other bag. I go, why don't we return your bag? Because he wants to get a filter for the water faucet for the kitchen. Thank you, Ursula. Thank you so much. Thank you, Martha. Thank you so much. I said, well, I just, I'm texting him. I go, why don't you let me come back out there? We'll get your bag. I go, we'll get all the other bags and all the other things, every single can and bottle that you have. I go, we'll shove all that in the back of my car. I'll push the seat. The seats are already forward from what I just did. I go, I'll go in if you don't want to go in, because he's kind of weird around a lot of people. I said, I'll go back in there. I'll put all the bottles through, get the money. I go, then we'll go over to Home Depot, and then we'll get the filter. Well, it's kind of too late. I said, okay, we'll do it tomorrow. So that's originally what I went there for. To get the bottles, to take them into town, and to do what I just described. We're approaching the bottle place. I'm about to make a right-hand turn to go in. He goes, you know something? He goes, what are you doing tomorrow? I go, I'm going to work. He goes, oh, okay. He goes, you know something? I don't need those bottles. Why don't you go ahead and keep them? And why don't we go to the park? Yeah? I have this ginormous, let me bring you in the living room. Let me make sure I'm decent. Yeah, I'm pretty decent. I just got on my pants, and let me go like this. Let me show you the size, and this is just one. Yes, he did. He wanted me to spend some time with him, and I think he's overwhelmed with what he's doing. Let's go in the living room for a second. I appreciate your patience with me. Oh yeah, look, all the lipstick. Yeah. Hi, welcome to Over 50, and this is what I look like just before bed. Y'all know I keep it real. Let me get this bag and show you the size of this bag of cans. I'll put it up on the table. Child. Let's turn the light on. Oh, let's get the camera far away from my face so you don't scream in horror. Look at this. Look at this. This thing is big. And it's full of cans. And there's another one in my car, then another one like this, and then a couple of small ones. Hi, Missy L. So we're looking at probably another $25, $28, bringing it to about, I don't know, $58 maybe in total. And I said, oh, I won't. He cleans them out like I do. I think most of them are water. Tomorrow morning when I stagger out of bed, I don't have to go to work. I don't leave for work till 3:15 in the afternoon. So they open at, hold on, let me slide my hiney back into my luxurious twin bed. I know y'all are jealous of my twin bed. Hold on. Let me do that. There we go. Excuse me. Thank you, Missy L. Ooh, French bread pizza. That's really good. Miss Fancy, what are you doing? Miss Fancy's out of sorts because normally in here it's quiet with the exception of the YouTube playing. Yes, 3460. That's excellent. Yeah, and there was this other lady, her and her husband were together. They were working together. Yes, I've lost 10 pounds so far. I've lost 10 pounds. I told Tim, you're going to have to... Tim is shorter than me. He's 5'7". I'm 5'10". And, you know, when I hadn't seen him in quite some time. Thank you, Miss Missy. And when I came in there and I saw that hair that long, I'm like, this man, I'm like, child, you, no, I'm like, in my mind, I'm screaming, you need a haircut. You don't see what you look like. You know how you get depressed? A person gets depressed and they lay in the bed for days. They don't even want to take a shower or something like that. And they don't realize what they look like until you take their behind over to that mirror and then look, come on, wake up, you know? So I'm going to be his cheerleader and I'm going to, not that he's hopeless or anything like that. He's a grown man. He's not hopeless. But I think that the father would like for me to be his little cheerleader, right? I'm going to go out there, like I say, on Saturday and I'm really quick, real quick, raking and stuff like that. I love doing yard work. And I need to kind of get out of the house anyway. He has one friend that lives about 45 minutes away. 45 minutes away. They've known each other since they were 17. Yeah. And I'm going to balance this correctly. I'm going to be careful and balance this correctly. But I'm not going to leave him. I'm not going to leave him floating in the wind like that. I won't do that. And I'm going to go out there and help with the yard work and stuff like that. I'm going to look. I'm going to be over here in the yard getting all these leaves out of mommy's flower beds. There's 3 different flower beds. One at the end of the driveway, one at the front of the house, and one, it's kind of tiered, like one tier. Then there's a flower bed and you step up and there's another. She had the dirt brought in and leveled like stairs. And then there's wood holding it in place so it doesn't fall apart. He even has wood pre-cut to replace the wood that's there, you see. And she's got like little turtles and shells and rocks and different little like little bunny rabbits, you know, all the little animals, a little ceramic animals and stuff like that. She likes to put them about. And then she has all different varieties of iris flowers. They're beautiful. So everything is starting to come up, and it's going to start to bloom. And what I'm simply doing is the leaves that are kind of, and you can see the plants are coming up like this, but there's leaves on the ground. It's not really that big of a job. And what I'm simply doing is I'm going to go in there with the small rake, the one that's the itty bitty, about that wide, and I'm going to get all the leaves and the twigs and the acorns and all that. I'm going to clean all that out for her on each one. So when she gets her little thing she sits on with wheels, this little square thing, she scoots around and so she can plant and do what she does, you know, arranging her ceramic animals and things like that, which is what she loves to do. God bless her. She's 80 years old and she still can get up and take care of herself. God bless this woman. This woman is a human angel. I'm telling you now. She's everybody's mama. I mean, this is a woman that does quilting. You know what I mean? She is a country gal. She worked for 30 years in the cafeteria. She's reared her children. She's earned the right to sit down. She's a wonderful, kind woman. Yes, it is. Yes, I do want to give him courage and strength. I said, yes. You know, and you can see she's got this walking stick. She goes, I'm going to go on my walk now. And she just goes down, you know, kind of where me and Tim were walking today. She'll walk all the way across, all the way around the yard, all the way, like making this big square. She'll stop for it. It makes me want to cry. She has her walking stick, and sometimes she just stops. And she looks out onto the field. She stops and just stands there, and she's just looking at everything. She's just quietly looking. Sometimes she stops. Hi, Sid. Sometimes she stops and she's just looking up. And then when everything's in bloom, she turns around and she's looking at all the different flower beds, you know. And I just think that brings her such joy. So I just want to help with that. I go up. She hadn't seen my hair because every time I was visiting, I had the hat on. So I'm not wearing the hat anymore. And her hair is short and white, just kind of brushed back, really short. So I went up to her with a side hug. I put my head against her and she put her head against mine. I go, hey, Mom. I go, we're twins now. We just both started laughing. She goes, how you doing? Oh, I melt like a candle. How you doing? Oh, it's so good to see you. Thank you so much. Thank you so. I remember I told you I brought her some flowers and she was out of town. Oh, thank you so much for the flowers. Oh, you know. Yes, living for Jesus. And some people would say that's kind of cornball and corny. Well, go ahead and call it cornball and corny. I was talking to him about, I had this deep conversation I felt I should have. I said, listen to me. I go, now, I'm not trying to depress you or anything, but I'm going to talk to you about a little something. It just kind of come up out of me. It was in my heart for quite some time. I said, listen to me. I said, when your Heavenly Father, we've had these conversations before, so it doesn't make him uncomfortable. I said, when your Heavenly Father makes his decision with your parents, I go, whoever is with you now, whoever comes to visit you now, when things are difficult, when you had to run your mother by yourself to run her to the hospital, when you were dealing with a lot of things, I won't say what he was dealing with a lot of other things. I go, the people that came around, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about your family. I go, the ones that came around, those are the ones that really care. When you don't have anything and you're dealing with certain set things, you find out who your friends are. Yes, you do. When you're broken, when you're sick, you find out who your real friends are, who really loves you. They've got nothing to gain by coming knocking on your door and bringing you a plate of food or helping you in and out of the bed. They've got nothing to gain. They're doing it because they love you for real. They love you for real. They don't care if you got bad breath or they have to help you into the bathroom or into the shower. They love you for real. Though that's a real friend. That's a relative that really loves you. I go, and the decision is made by the Heavenly Father on your parents. And you're sitting there with that property and sitting there with whatever is left. I go, Aunt Fern that hasn't seen you in 15 years and Uncle Freddie that hasn't visited you in 20 years, if they all of a sudden show up and they're having a conversation with you, but they're looking, hey, can I be for real here? They're talking to you, but they're looking over your shoulder at your grandfather's truck, at all those dirt bikes that are over there at that work truck over there. You know, they're looking at all the things that are in your yard. I go, that's the ones that have to be dismissed. I go, do whatever you will. His son comes by to visit to help him. His friend, Mr. S, comes by to visit during the worst and the worst time. His niece comes by to visit. He's got a niece. She comes by, whether things are good or bad. Those three people for sure. You see. Yes, they do. They surround, like you say, like vultures. Well, geez, I wonder if there's a life insurance policy. I wonder if he's ready. Oh, geez, they got a car and his dad had that truck and his mom had that car. Let me see. Maybe he's so vulnerable and emotional, I can get it for $100. I mean, after all, we are related. Let's see. So we had, I'm just, man, if you think I'm matter of fact here on the YouTube talking about my silly self and my situation, I'm matter of fact with him. Oh yeah, look at that tractor. Jeez, it's an amazing to me when people see you grieving, instead of coming at you, giving you the side hug and maybe putting their hand on your shoulder and say, look, if you need anything, or just show, or don't have to, you don't say anything, you show up. Hey, I'm just going to be out here for a little bit. Timmy, open the shed. And his son will show up. And son and wife. And they will grab a rake and a shovel and go out there and do some work. Let's see. So when you're grieving and you got you're all overwhelmed and you got, you're dealing with having to take care of what you need to take care of. And then you got your regular stuff to take care of. Your real friend just quietly pulls up in your driveway and it's fall and there's leaves. And they say, hey, buddy, how you doing? Come over, comfort you, talk to you. Listen, I got a couple of hours. I'm just going to putter out here a little bit. All right? Okay, cool. And they just quietly do it. Get it all raked together. And come back. You need any money? You need anything? I know you're feeling a certain set way. Would you like me to go into town to pick up some groceries? Is there anything you're going to need before I leave town? Like that. Old school. I know people say ride or die friends, but that kind of friend that helps without expectation, that helps without waiting for applause, that just quietly swoops in and helps you during this time. They quietly help you. and give you a hug. And then the next day, let a day or so go by and then call to check on, make sure you're okay. And maybe about 4 or 5 days later, show back up to kind of recheck and make sure you're all right. Yeah. I just don't want anybody taking advantage of him. I said, look, my silly self is going to show up. I go, I don't care if they get upset with me or angry with me. I'll just tell them, oh, you don't like me and you're angry with me? Just get in line. There's a few people over there. Just stand in line. I'm not going to let anybody take advantage of him. I am not. People like that are hard to find nowadays, especially in these last days. The love of many has grown cold. Exactly. Exactly. I told you the story before about my ex-husband, his ex-wife, how the poor woman, she had some siblings, and the matriarch passed away, mama passed away. And everybody showed up at the house, at mama's house, the one who passed away's house. They came in like you described earlier, like vultures. Well, she told me I could have this, and she told me I could have that. They all went in there. They're opening up drawers, opening up the china closet, taking the, whatever silver plates or china or things or jewelry or whatever it is they wanted, like dogs. They descended upon that just like a buzzard on a fresh kill on the road, They all hovered in. The poor woman comes in there not realizing what had happened. She comes in there, place is all tore up, everything's all messy. And she, all by herself, had to clean that house, get all that mess cleaned up and get it ready so they could sell it. That is just so sad. How much of that jewelry and what part of that tea service are you going to take with you when you leave this planet? You're going to take this. Come on now. Left that poor woman to clean it all up. Anyways, let me stop. Let me stop. So yeah, I had that matter-of-fact conversation with Mr. Tim. I don't know why it kind of came up in me. And we sat and I shut the door and we had a serious conversation. And then I said to him, I go, I understand that you like doing, you're working on these different projects and stuff like that. I go, if you weren't working on a project, I go, what do you like to do for yourself? What do you enjoy doing? What brings you joy? He told me the different things that he likes to work on. I said, well, why don't we try to work together to get some of this stuff squared away so you can start doing what you like to do? You see. I told him how I told y'all. I said the average woman lives to 75 or 80. I go, that gives me 15, 20 years if he grants it unto me. I go, shouldn't there be pockets of joy within that 15 or 20 years if I'm blessed to have him granted unto me? And for you, shouldn't you be granted some pockets of joy, Timmy? I call him Timmy. Can't call him Timmy publicly, but I call him Timmy. I go, Timmy, shouldn't you have pockets of joy? You take care of your responsibilities. That's true. That's a given. But in between, I said, 3-4 days a week, do what you have to do. I go, but take a day or so for what you enjoy. Well, I don't have enough time. I go, you're going to have to make time. And start making some time for what you enjoy doing. If you don't, I'm going to kick your behind. Don't let me have to kick you all the way around the yard. I mess with him. Yes. He is very shy. He's like, I show him the playback of the 1 or 2 videos. He goes, I don't like the sound of my voice. I go, what's wrong with your voice? I go, you sound just fine. You sound fine to me. I go, look how I sound with my deep voice. All these people saying, I get all these people, are you transitioning? They look at me. You don't know how many times I get that. Are you a man? I get that. Are you a woman? Are you transitioning? No. I used to get really mad when people would say that because I don't have a soft face. I got a real tough looking face. There's nothing soft or Miss America looking about this face with my hooded eyes and the way I look and my forehead in specific. I look like Herman the Munster forehead, you know? We all got, I'm sorry, all the women in my family and the men, I have this forehead. You know? I get that. I get that all the time. You think so, Miss Martha? Maybe so. He's got a real genuine heart. Even when he knows a little bit, one or two of his kids show up and they show up just to get their oil changed and their car worked on. And after that, he don't hear from them for a while. He knows what they're doing, but he loves them so much, he'll do it. So yeah, so Granny's got a... Let's see, I'm off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday, when I'm done, is I kind of collapse and kind of rest up. So I figured Saturday would be the perfect day to go out there as early as I can. And I don't want to stay too late because I want to come back and sit down. Maybe I can drag him over here. Yeah, thank you, Miss Martha, so much. I said, look, I want to tell you, my friends, talking about you all. I go, they really enjoyed when we were, reading the Bible together. And they feel that you have spiritual insight, and he does. Because sometimes I just sit back quiet, and he's like, I say, what scripture is that? He'll tell me, then he'll explain it to me in detail. There's no dust on his Bible. No, there isn't. I think your surroundings and circumstances sometimes put you in, they just put you in, how do I describe this? I'm feeling a certain set way, let me self-medicate. And I don't have to think so hard about what's making me uncomfortable. I'll self-medicate so I don't have to think so hard about what makes me uncomfortable. And just kind of let that be all fuzzy so I don't have to think about it. Let me do this so I can get some sleep because I'm laying in bed, waking up every hour and a half. You're waking up every hour and a half because I'm overly worrying about this thing. Yes, I think so. I think so. And I'm not, this old woman's not judging anybody. I know how that goes. I know how that goes, because that's what I was doing. I always say, you just be tender. Don't be mean. Well, that's wrong. No. He's hearing enough negativity and criticism from his father. Why would he want negativity and a critical set of lips at him, pulling into his driveway, beating him just a little bit more? Why would he want that? Why would I do that? I go, come on, I gotta have my hug. I got in the car to leave yesterday. I was about to pull off. I put it back in park and got out of the car. I go, where's my hug? He goes, I was going to ask you the same thing. I go, why didn't you ask? And he just kind of puts his head down. I go, come on. Bring it here. I was about to leave today, and before I touched my car door, where's my hug? Come here. Come here. Yeah, you let some woman trying to come around and use him. I got a little something for him. I won't pop you, but yeah, I won't pop you. I won't grab you like I used to grab people. I don't do that no more. Hi, Annette the Encourager. Thank you so very much for stopping in, honey. I will have a little something to say. That's why I'm just saying that to him now. A lot of his family uses him, okay? They show up when they want something. That makes me so angry. I can't say anything. I can't do anything about that. I can't do anything about that. But there's one the one niece is very sweet, but the other one just shows up. Gimme. My name is Jimmy. Gimme. Oh, can I borrow 30? Can I? Oh, uncle. Oh, like that, you know. And I just want to. I just like, oh, pull it back, Lynn. Pull it back. Don't get in your flesh. I'm sitting there, I'm like, look, you're half broke. How you trying to give somebody $30 and you're running around half broke? I'm sorry, I'm just for real. I go, why da. He goes, I got it. He just don't worry about it. I got it. Yeah. Stand up before I start drop kicking his relatives out. You're gonna see me like this with the walk of shame. Oh well. Sorry, subscribers, if I've let you down. Oh well, you know. It's all good, my friends. I don't want to have to wear those special silver bracelets because I'm drop kicking his niece and one of his sons. He's got a couple of sons. One of them is an angel. One of them works like a dog. That boy works hard. He's got little children and teenage children. He's a good father. He works really hard. He doesn't, you know, he's the kind of man that refuses to take handouts. He will take a loan and pay him right back, you know, but he's that kind of a young man where he just, you know, he believes, hey, I'm the man. I got to go out and earn, and I got to take care of my children and my wife. He's that kind of man. I really, you know, he's that kind of person. When I first met him, I thought he was going to break my hand. I shook his hand. Go, hey, it's nice to finally meet you. How you doing, you know? I'm like, okay, come on. I'm kind of old. You're squeezing too hard. Yeah. I know he's a grown adult. I cannot stand people using other people, taking advantage. When someone is so sweet and very kind and kind of soft-spoken and kind of they don't have that, you know, they don't have that whatever that is. In other words, they're not going to tolerate any they'll tolerate kind of a lot. I used to be that person when I was 20, rounding the corner to 60, Yes, living for Jesus. I've seen a few men like that where I work right now. I've seen a few like that where I work right now. They'll just come in sick, coughing. They got a whole bunch of tissue balled up in their pocket, and they're coughing, and they're trying to work, you know. They're like, I'm not wasting my sick time or vacation time. I'm going in, you know. Yeah. Anyways, I don't got to try to stop because I think I'm repeating myself. But yeah, it's been kind of interesting. It all started with a can of bottles. I said, you may have had that thought because you wanted me to come visit, so you handed me you're dangling a bag of bottles. I go, you didn't have to do that. You just could have called and said, I'd like you to come over. I want to see you, and I would have came over. I go, you don't have to give me you don't have to give me a bag of bottles for me to come over. Just call me and ask me. And if I'm not working or half dead from work, I'll come over and see you. You don't have to give me something. He goes, well, he's got they're all over the place, you know. It's just like, I want to get rid of them anyway, so I'm like, okay, that's fine. You should see we're like two little children arguing. It's not a bad argument. It's a stupid argument, like silly, like teenagers, you know? Like I'm 14 and he's 14 and we're arguing, you know, like that. Oh, it's kind of comical, actually. Yeah. I met Mr. Tim online. I met Mr. Tim online. I forget where we met, if it was Yahoo or something. He sent this message. I forget what the message was. And so we started talking with messages. Hi, Raina Lynn. And then I says, well, he said, oh, what's that thing where you can call? It's not FaceTime. I can only hear the sound of how it sounds. Do, 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 do. You know the phone call you get through the internet? Yes. The what do you call that? Where you can call on the internet and you can see each other's faces. It's old school. It's not FaceTime. It's on your laptop. But anyway, that's what we used to do. We started there. I will never forget. It wasn't the Hangout, but I can't remember what you call that. Anyways, basically, you can get online and see each other. Skype. Yes. So we had been messaging, and the pictures of him were kind of distant. And so the pictures didn't do him justice. When he cuts all that hair off, in my opinion, he's a handsome man. He's got that long hair now. But in my opinion, he's a good-looking man. That's my opinion, you know, right? So, here comes the Skype call. I'm all nervous and everything because I've been talking to him, messaging back and forth for quite some time. And I hit the answer button, and there he is sitting in his chair, and he's looking at me. And I look at him. My first impression was he looked really good. I go, that's a good-looking man. That's the first. Yes, Raina Lynn. We totally get that. Yeah, that's what he says. A lot of people say that. So, yeah, he's sitting there, you know. All he got in his wardrobe pretty much is a lot of jeans and a lot of plaid shirts and tee. He's a country boy. And I got him to get a few dress shirts and stuff like that. But I could be wearing I could be all dressed up, and he just, he might put on a dress shirt. I says, well, if we're going here, if we plan something, I'll say, tonight you're wearing a dress shirt. I don't care about the jeans or the boots or anything like that. I go, but you will put on a dress shirt. Yes, I will. But yeah. If he cuts it behind his ears, gets it layered like this. Sad to say, my hair is so short. This is how short his hair should be. But I don't mind it being a little bit long, but you got to have some layers. You just can't have it shapeless, just hanging like that. But he was working. I'm working. I'm working like a dog out here. Yes, Miss Raina Lynn. Yes. And so, yeah, that was my first impression, And it's kind of funny. I'm just kind of looking at him. I'm in my bedroom there in Carolina. That's when we started talking. I was in Carolina. In my head, I didn't say it. But I thought in my head, I go, oh, he's a pretty good-looking guy. I wonder if he's sane. I wonder if he's normal. I hope he's not crazy. I hope he's not on crack, Thoughts that run through your head that you don't say out loud because you don't think it's very sophisticated when you're getting to know somebody. I hope he's not hiding a wife somewhere. I hope I'm not one of 10 women he's dating. I hope he doesn't have a woman in every state. I hope he doesn't have some disease. I hope you know what I mean? Those are the things that women silently and alone to themselves, when you're single and you're single and you're just looking at a face and you're hearing a voice and they're talking to you, all kinds of thoughts roll through my mind. You know, are you disease free? Are you this? Are you that? Oh yeah. Am I going to get to know you after 6 months and we're going to get in the personal realm and you're going to make me sick and what you give me is going to kill me? You know, that's kind of things, you know. Because I remember. Yup. Because I remember the last, I think it was the last GYN exam I got, you know, the girl exam I got, where they check everything, right? And so they said, I was up there filling out the paperwork and everything. They said, "Hey, would you like to be tested for HIV?" And I looked at the lady. I said, "As a matter of fact, yeah, go ahead and test me for HIV. As a matter of fact, test me for everything that you can. Test me for everything." And I waited for the phone call that didn't come because everything's okay. Because grandma's pretty careful. Yeah, I said, "Matter of fact, go ahead and just like that, go ahead and just test me for everything." Yeah, I think so. It seems like Miss Martha Howard, it just seems like I attract the kind of man that, I don't know. I don't know how to describe this. Maybe if I pull back and I'm just a nurturing kind of person. I kind of with people, I try to make everything better. And that can be a mistake. Because of, you know, if you want to make a person's situation, "Don't worry, mommy will make it better" kind of attitude, and a man is susceptible to that kind of behavior, it can render him kind of weak and wimpy. You see, it can render him weak and wimpy. You know, and you know, the only person that I know, there was two people that I knew in my life that were not like that. That was one, Mr. Christopher. Mr. Christopher was 6'5.5" tall. And he's the kind of person that had a very gentle sounding voice. And he 99% of the time was very loving and compassionate and sweet. Mr. Christopher, my ex-husband, who I was married to for 11 years. I know this man a lot. I know him. I know him quite well. Very sweet, very gentle giant. I mean, we're talking about the trimmed beard, the hairy chest, you know, that kind of man. 6'5.5" tall. But if he got angry, he never had anything to get angry with me about. We'd have an argument here and there. But when he got angry, I would just kindly step back. Because whoever he was focusing his anger on, they were about to get it. They're about to get it. So I'm like, well, looks like it's about time for me to step outside and take a walk now. The winds of war are about to release out of this caveman. This caveman is about to go get his club and start the clubbing. So let me just step on back, because there is no amount of talking. Once he got that angry, there was no amount of talk. Christopher, please. Christopher, calm down. Christopher, he had the kind of eyes that were light brown, but they had a bit of green in it. So when he wore a blue shirt, his eyes looked bluer. When he wore a green shirt, his eyes looked green. Quite frankly, when he got very angry, his eyes looked black. You understand? That kind of angry. When he got that kind of angry, well, if y'all will excuse me, I think I'd like to step outside. Y'all excuse me a second. Would you please? I'll be right back. Okay, I'll be back in about 10 minutes. Okay. You know? because the winds of war were about to be released. Oh yeah. Do I have a picture of Chris? Hold on. Let me look. Oh, you want to see? Let me turn this. There we go. If you know, my house is so teeny. Here's my. Let me move my leg. Here's my desk. As you can see, I changed things around. Yes, please give me a thumbs up. I'm 100. Oh, I want to tell. I keep saying I have 4,000 subscribers. It's what I'm trying to get to. I need 117 more subscribers. Can y'all find 100? Can you find 117 people to subscribe to my channel so I can have 4,000 subbies, please? Thank you. Call your family. Get your cousin on the phone. Get grandma, grandpa. Get Niecy and them. You know, Niecy and them. You know, get Niecy and them. Get Niecy and them. You see this? That's me. I'm tall. Do you see this picture real good? Look, you see that man? I am 5'10". He's 6'5". Yeah, that guy. Yeah, that guy. Goodness gracious. Oh, I was so young then. Let's see how close I can get. My gosh, I was so young then. Hi, Roxbury. Yeah. We went on a boat ride that day. And that's all you saw. If you look close, that's all you saw was those jeans and boots. That leather belt, jeans and boots. He wearing boots. And nickname, I used to call him a cowboy. That was my cowboy. Give me a second. I'm seeing something that I need to address. I need to go back. Yes, you attract broken men that need to be built up. That's what it seems like. Hold on. I need to backtrack. I saw something that I didn't like. Hi, Donia. Do you see Donia Gonzalez Copeland? I don't know if she's still here. I saw something. I got to back up. Forgive me. I need to back all the way to the beginning. Ursula Living for Jesus. Yacky Snacky. Martha Howard. Missy L. Sid 223. Annette the Encourager. You may all not still be here, but I'm going to mention your names. Roxbury. Ronna Lynn's Lifestyle and Beauty. And she is a beautiful woman. You ever see Ronna Lynn? Ronna Lynn got that makeup. She's got that makeup squared away. Ronna Lynn, you need to come to my house and help fix this. Could you fix this, please? That young lady knows how to put that makeup together, y'all. I'm telling you. Where is it? I saw something. Just one second. I need to do something. I'm just doing something. I want to see something. I want to see somebody's face. Oh, okay. All right. I'm subscribed to you. Y'all pardon me. Simply G. Simply G. Hi, honey. I don't know if she's still in here. Now, Miss Donia Gonzalez Copeland does reviews. She also has some chit-chats. She has beautiful grandchildren. She's been on YouTube for a mighty long time, and I have been subscribed to her since I've been on YouTube. I am of the belief that Miss Donia Gonzalez Copeland, when she's doing her lives, sometimes she does a lot of product reviews. And some of the products I've never seen before, and some I may have, but it's a different brand. But she, as she says, "Hi everyone, it's your stay-at-home grandma." I love that. She is a wonderful person. And she, like I said, she's been on here for a mighty long time. So yeah, would I like to get 117 as I play a sad violin for my sorry little channel? You know? You know, I don't know. You're welcome. You're welcome, Miss Sister Donia. Yes. And I love that name. I have never seen that name before in my life before I came on YouTube. I hope I'm pronouncing Donia correctly. I apologize if I'm singing it the wrong way. But the Puerto Rican half of me wants to say Donia Gonzalez Copeland, like that. So I beg your forgiveness if I'm pronouncing your first name incorrectly. And I'm an idiot. Get this. Rana Lynn's Lifestyle. In her video, she says, "Hi, I'm Rana Lynn," right? And every time I get on here, I'll say, "Yes, so it's Raina Lynn." But on every video, she says Rana Lynn very clearly. Menopause, like an idiot with menopause, you know? It's kind of like the apples, oh, Portuguese. Ah, okay. Remember I had the apple cider vinegar. Clearly in red, it said "with the mother." And I said, well, you know, I've got to get it with the mother, but get the one. It said "with the mother," and I'm holding it up. Now get the one with the mother, even though the one I was holding in my hand, showing you on camera, said clearly "with the mother." Get the one with the mother. I'm going to have to get the one with the mother. And then I think it might have been Sid that said, and it took me about, what, 10 minutes? About 10 minutes later, I go, "Oh, this does have the mother." And then I think it might have been Sid that said, "Oh yeah, I knew, I saw that. I saw that like 2 or 3 weeks ago." You see what I mean? That's probably why I can't get the 117 more to cling on to me. Well, this is kind of aggravating. Half the time she says the wrong word, you know, and I look back at my videos and I cringe at myself because I'll say, like, instead of bread, I'll say sausage, you know, or something like that. I say the wrong word. It's like, as I'm holding up a cup of water. So yeah, so here's the cup of juice. Now let's add, it's clearly water. Let's add the juice to make our recipe. And I'm going on like it really is. I do it all the time and I want to slap my own self every time I do that. I told y'all, yes, I drive my own self crazy. And I'll tell you, yeah. So, and I say to myself, well, Lord, you know what's on my heart. You know what I'd like to do. Da, 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 and the same answer keeps coming back. The same answer. For me. And my little struggling channel, be yourself. Be yourself. Do not, under any circumstances, jump through fake hoops. No, Lynn, you are not going to do the cinnamon challenge. No, Lynn, all of a sudden you're not going to come on here wearing a low-cut blouse, pushing your boobs up. No, Lynn, you're not going to come frolicking across trying to act 15 or 20 years younger. No, Lynn, you are a daughter in Christ, and that's what you're supposed to be representing. No, Lynn, you're going to do what I say. Be yourself. Be honest and be true. Be under my will and let me give you the increase. If that's what is meant to be, that's what you're going to get. Be honest and be yourself. Don't be coming on these airwaves as back in the day, acting the fool and being a phony baloney. You know? Okay, everybody. I come out looking like a ridiculous. Oh, yeah, this is a new Lynn. I come out with a bathing suit top with all my stretch marks hanging out, and I've got a big old thing of cinnamon in my hand. Okay, everybody, jiggle, jiggle. Hey, I gotta do the cinnamon challenge. It click, unclick, unsub, unsub, unsub. And then I know Miss Martha Howard. Oh, Martha Howard, have you lost your mind? And the people, there's a few of you that got my phone number. Oh, my phone will blow up. Have you lost? Are you crazy? Delete that video and don't let me reach my hand through the cell phone and slap you. Oh, Miss Martha Howard, you have every right to kick me up and down the street. Yes, you do. Mm-hmm. And Mr. Tim, oh my gosh. And Mr. Tim gets wind of that. Oh my gosh. I think then all of a sudden his chest would get 2 times as big and he'd have something to say. But I've seen people do some pretty goofy things. I've seen some people do some pretty goofy things. You know. Sorry, I didn't mean to get so loud. We've said it before and we'll say it again. There are, where is it? Here's my old cell phone. This is my old cell phone. There are not any of these up yonder. There aren't any of these up yonder. I have this. I had a subscriber send me this thingy where you can read. I forget what you call this thing. Let me turn it on if it will turn on. Oh, the battery's really low. But they sent one of these things where you can do ebooks. Yeah, Kindle. I had somebody, it doesn't really hold a charge that well. Yeah. And so I can read books, and I kind of forgot it was in my, yes it is. Yes it is. I can bring YouTube on it, but I cannot record on this thing. It's not meant for that. But if I want to bring like up my Bible stuff, which is really cool for that, and I'm very grateful. I had received this box about 4 or 5 years ago. As a matter of fact, there was a person that would send me a box and would have all these things in it, and I really didn't know who they were. It was a sister sent in I was really, you know how I was doing, how I was struggling in Carolina. And I'd be on making videos, having matter-of-fact conversations like we're having right now about life and that. And it seemed like this person, as I was talking, they were really looking behind me. They were kind of looking around. Glory to the Most High. They were really looking around at how I was doing things. And all of a sudden, about 2-3 weeks later, I'd go to my post office box and there'd be a key, and I'd have to go to the bigger thingy and open it, and there'd be this box. And I'd open the box, and the things that I was lacking, whether it was pot holders, whatever it was coming to me. And the first time it happened, I opened this box and I just burst into tears. I'm like, oh my gosh, who is this? You know, I started to kind of get a little scared, but at the same time, I was like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? That's the kind of thing that it makes you go like this. where I think that if Tim had more resources, glory to the Most High, exactly, living for Jesus, exactly, exactly. I think that if Tim had more resources and kind of had everything together, I keep telling him, I go, you've got all these trees with all these apples and plums and grapes. And at the end of the driveway, you could go down this one street, this other street, and you could be more into the open area. I go, you can start picking this fruit and stuff and get it into baskets. I go, then we can go up to the front there. I go and put a few signs on the main road with the arrows pointing. I go, then people can come to you and be buying some of this stuff. I go, if you look up into the trees, that's an income on these grapevines and in these trees. And black walnuts, all these different things. Exactly. And I said, the other thing about it, I said, there was something else. I said, and here, I go in town where I am, we can have yard sales. Yes, Ronalyn, exactly. Exactly. And Mommy just bought a year or two ago a steam thing for that very purpose, to make jellies. Yes, living for Jesus, exactly. And I said, with his woodworking skills, there's certain set things. Remember the sign, the pray sign, that wooden sign that's hanging up? I brought him in. He hadn't been here in a while. I pointed to the sign. I go, do you see that sign right there? He goes, cool. He goes, where'd you get that from? I said, Goodwill. I said, why can't you take that sign down and trace it, or other things like it? Get your circular saw out and cut out about 20 of them. It doesn't have to say pray, but just something inspirational. I go, and then you can paint it white and light blue, maybe tan, and some just stain. And then you have that. And then you've got the black walnuts and the apples and the grapes, 4 varieties of grapes. You've got all this stuff. And just put this stuff out there and have the signs leading. He doesn't like the thought of someone coming to his property, like all the way to his house. I go, it doesn't have to be all the way to the house. I go, you can go down the street a little bit on that main road there and set back and lay the baskets on their sides on a table. Yes. And a lot of the people coming from out of town are coming through. They're coming into town to get all that kind of stuff. I go, or you could come to my place and we could put out a few tables. We can have yard sales here in town. I said, you could bring the stuff, put the stuff in the back of your truck, come on out. We'll plan a day early. A few days before, we'll put the yard sale thing out and put that what's available. I go, and they can just come over here. You could have the wooden plaques, all your veggies. And he says a lot of, I go, you have a lot of tools. I go, you may have 25 screwdrivers and 50 sets of this and 10 sets of that. I go, I have a few things in here, a few of the girly girl things. I go, you do, just put the stuff out. I go and sit down. Yeah, he can handle it. All he's got to do is sit back on my porch. Just sit back. You don't want to sit out front. I'll bring my old stuff out front. Hey, how you doing? Isn't it a nice day? Come on. And then of course, I got a few stuffed animals and things for my grandkids. I'll just give those to the little kids that show up, because you know me about little kids. Everybody becomes my grandson. My grandsons, excuse me, I have 2 now, and granddaughter. So if I have some stuffed animals and little things, I just give that, And it's a great way to meet people. It's a great way to meet people, get to know people that are around you, you see. Hence, I probably remember the shoes I got for $1. I need to go to Walmart and see if they have any more. Yeah, it makes for a nice day. And any one of you, I mean, if you choose to, any one of you can do the same thing if you choose to. I know one lady that does couponing. She does couponing, and so she's got a store. She got a store at her house. So all she's got to do is go down to her store. Go down to her store and pick up, if you got, I don't know, 50 hand lotions, 50 toothbrushes, 100 bottles of laundry detergent. You've got all this, excuse me, you got all this stuff. Yes. You've got all this repair. You've got 10 pairs of this, and you've got all this non-perishable food, all these different items, and you're falling short. Bring it all out. Put your signs up. Have yourself a sit down. Go to the bank. Get about 20 singles. Get yourself some change. Put the little pouch in front of you. What's that old school pouch from the 1980s that you wear around your waist? That thingy. Put that thing around your waist. Put that around your waist. Yes. Put that thing right around your waist. The fanny pack. Thank you, Living for Jesus. Put your fanny pack on. Have about 20, 30 singles. Go on to the bank during the week and get a bunch of singles. Get your quarters and your dimes. Get everything all lined up in your fanny pack. Get your bags from Walmart. From Walmart and all your grocery stores. And then if you have glassware, get a stack of old newspapers and old magazines. I should be running a store. I should be running a store if you think about it. I can talk to anybody. I can talk to anybody, old, young. Oh, yes, I can. That's the interesting thing about being an old person. If a young person comes, you can kind of talk to them about being young. If a married person comes, you've been married. If a mother comes, you have children. If a grandmama comes, you can talk about your grandchildren. Glory to the Most High. If somebody come and they got a hat that says John 3:16, like, praise the Lord, how you doing? Glory to God. Come here. Come on, come here for a second. And then you do your witnessing. Isn't this amazing? How the Lord rolls out, he rolls out like a scroll this day, just like a beautiful blanket. Isn't God wonderful? Just like that. Just like that. Wow, isn't this amazing? You know what? I think more people need to turn around as they step out of their front lawn, step out of their apartment, their condo, or out of their trailer or camper. And they need to look up for a few moments. Don't you think so? Wouldn't you think that would be pretty nice? Just like that. With all sincerity. Oh, I would love a thrift store. I would lose my mind. I'd probably be its #1 customer. I'd probably be, well, I know that just came in. Well, we got to offer it to the public first. But you know what? I would probably price it at $5. All right, I'll buy it and put the $5 in the till. Yes, Miss Ronaldin, I will. Mom would make that. The other thing I try to convince Mom about, she makes quilts. She's been making quilts forever. My battery power is at 15%. Oh, we got a few more minutes and then I gotta go. It said, you know how it drops down? It says doink doink. Battery power 15%. I had no idea I'd be on this late. Yes, and once a month, every 2 weeks or so, I told you all this before. She has a sister. She goes to visit her sister out of town. And they do quilting together. And they've been doing it for years. Goodness gracious, they're beautiful. And I said, Mom, I go, you know about Etsy? I go, all you got to do, I go, you can lay these on the bed. You can lay them across. Put a piece of silky material on a table. Put a piece of silky material on a table. Open your quilt part way and take a picture. Then all you do is you type in at Etsy, ETSY. I know most of you know what that is. I go take a picture. Then you put a description. Then you charge the person what you feel. I mean, this is little itty bitty pieces cut out of material. Those are sewn together, made into like a sheet, like the old way. I'm talking the old way, painstakingly taken, there, that way. I said, so that quilt to me, that's like a $50 quilt. That one's 25 years old. I go, that's a $100 quilt right there, because that took you blah, blah amount of time, and it's over 25 years old, and it's never been put on a bed. It's just sitting there folded, and it's beautiful. It's gorgeous, I go, and then you just take the pictures, you upload them. You can have the shipping and handling included, or find out what it will cost to ship, and that the person would pay the shipping and handling, whatever which way you want. I go, and there you go with extra income. Yes, Ronalyn, the queen size. Miss Ronalyn, my grandma used to take patches from our clothing and make us quilts. Yes. Tim has a small quilt that every time one of his plaid shirts would get kind of worn and torn, he would give it to his mother. And over the years, since he was really young, she would cut pieces out of it. And she'd take it piece by piece by piece. So she got a big old stack. And then she sewed them and made a quilt. And I think it might have been on one of his birthdays that she gave it to him with all his shirts. You see. And she also knits hats. And she knitted him a really nice hat. I mean, I when I grow up, I want to be just like his mama. I wish I had a pinky's worth of her skill. There are a lot of ladies out there that know how to do this. But to me, if you look at the quilts, they're made with love. They're made with love. Yes, exactly, Ronalyn. Yeah, make sure I'm saying that right. Ronalyn, I'm sorry. I'm checking myself as I talk. But yeah. How tender is sweet as that, where you have some shirts or blouses or little baby t-shirts, and you kind of store those away. Then they get to be 4 or 5 years old, and you get 4 or 5 of their blouses or dresses. You store that away. And then they get to be teenagery. You're storing it away. And then you got stuff from when they were a baby to where they were a toddler, to where they were 6, then 13, then 18, then a grown man or woman. And you've got a big old stack. And you make the quilt for them, and then you make another like a baby quilt for the baby. That is the most precious thing that you can pass to your children and your grandchildren. Oh my gosh. If you have something, no matter what that is, it may seem to be insignificant to anybody else, but to you it's a priceless thing. Whether it's a small toy, a piece of jewelry, a jewelry box, a pair of baby shoes, whatever that is, don't give that away ever. Yes, and it doesn't have to be something, a gold or a ruby or a diamond. It doesn't have to be like that. It could just be that pair of baby shoes, or that frame, or that photograph of your great-grandmother's wedding day. How priceless is that? A photograph of your great-grandparents, or of your mother or father as a child. And then you put that up, and then you put your childhood picture, right? And then your children. And then they have kids, and you got all 4 or 5 generations up above your mantle. Or just, around in your house, wherever you have all the family pictures. You have great-grandma on top, or maybe in the center, and then the babies and all the way around. What a great conversation piece that is, as you have a neighbor that you really, a really good neighbor friend, and you're having a barbecue or something, and they come in. Maybe you want to come in, it's getting a little bit chilly, so you bring your plates inside in the early evening, and maybe the conversation's getting a little bit thin, and they ask about, and you can kind of get into conversation about family. Pretty soon she's running across to go get her albums, and everyone's sitting around blabbing and telling stories, different stories, about growing up. We still have a lot of that. Glory to God. We still have a lot of that. There's still a lot of good people that care about their families. Yes, there are. No family is perfect. There's still a lot of love. Yes, there is. Yes, Ronalyn, it is. It is. As you're taking away the supper plates and you're about to slice the piece of pie or cheesecake, or maybe someone just wants coffee or tea, and all the supper plates are taken back, and here come the coffee cups are coming out, and the coffee mugs and stuff like that. And sometimes the men would like to get alone and have a conversation. Maybe they want to step outside. Somebody likes having a cigar or whatever. Girls are sitting in having some girl talk, talking about stuff, I asked my son, I told you this before. Good night, Donia. Thank you so very much for coming in. I'm very grateful that you did, honey. Thank you so much. Thank you, honey. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, bring it back to me. Goodness gracious, it escapes me. I was talking about family. I was talking about having supper. I was talking about having tea and coffee after supper and conversations. Oh, I said to my son when he was a young boy, not real babyish boy, but a young boy, 8 years old. I don't forget how old. I said, son, how many friends do you need? Like best friends. How many friends, real friends, do you need? I don't know, Mom. 3, 4? One, you know what I mean? I said, just one. I'm repeating myself, but I'll repeat myself anyway. That's the one you can call at 2 o'clock in the morning having to tell them something. And they will not shame you about it. They'll just listen. You can call them up as you head home and you get a flat. You can call them up. It could be 11:30 at night and they got to get up at 6 or 7 the next morning, and they pull up beside you to help you with your car or take you home and you have someone come and get it. Yeah. You had something with the doctor and they'll go with you and sit with, glory to God. They'll sit with you in the waiting room and hold your hand while you wait for your results to come in. That friend. Oh, beloved, that friend. Maybe one, maybe two. Yes, ma'am. Exactly. All right, y'all. I've got to go just for now. I am so grateful. I'm very surprised that you all came in, but I am grateful that you did. My Dr. Phyllis's. Thank you for giving me 2 of these while I overused one of these. Yes, Miss Martha, exactly. You can tell them something so deep. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. How many a private conversation am I going to have by myself? Let's see. How many conversations am I going to have by myself? As at the moment I'm thinking, who can I tell something to? Who can I trust? Glory to God. Is there anybody on this planet I can trust to tell a few set things? Right at the moment, I can't think of anybody right now. Not right at the moment. I mean, here and in person. Thank you so very much for tuning in. And I pray for each and every one of you. Please, please pray for me. And in 21 minutes, my son will turn 33 years old. In 21 minutes, my son, Alan Dale, was born on March 20th, 1986 at approximately 4:29 p.m. in upstate New York. Came my bouncing baby boy, who I still love very much. Son, I don't know if you watch, you probably don't, but let it go on record. Happy birthday, baby. I love you so much. I love you so much, honey. Despite how you maybe feel, I'll just tell you the way I told you when you were, I'll tell you the way I used to tell you when you were a little boy. Alan Dale, mommy loves you very much. Mommy loves you very much. Take care, everybody. I pray for each and every one of you. Please pray for me and my family. Thank y'all so much. Love y'all. Bye, everybody.